The Amberbell Glade. You are already here. You didn't notice when you crossed into the glade, only that you did, that the trees drew close and then opened into this, and now you are standing at the edge of the clearing in the near dark, and it is very quiet. The forest behind you is dim. The trees in their circle are old and very large, their trunks wider than your arms could reach around, their bark soft with moss, their roots lifting gently from the earth like sleeping animals. And across the floor of the glade, all around you, in the low-growing dark, something is beginning to glow. The amberbell flowers are opening. You have arrived at the right time. This is the hour they choose, not quite dusk, not quite dark, that slow seam in the evening when the last light has gone from the sky and the forest has settled into itself. The flowers feel it somehow. They have been waiting. And now, one by one, and then in twos and threes, and then in whole drifting acres of bloom, they open. Each one is small. The blossoms hang down like tiny bells, pale gold in the daylight hours, closed and unremarkable. But now, in the darkening, as the petals part, a warmth comes out. A warmth that is also light. Amber. Not bright. Not a torch, not a lantern, nothing that would demand anything from you. Just warmth. Just glow. The way an ember breathes at the end of a long evening, content to simply be warm and let the dark be the dark around it. The air in the glade is still. You notice this immediately, how still. The wind that you can hear somewhere above, moving through the high canopy, does not reach here. The ring of old trees holds the air close, keeps it. And the air that is kept here is warm, warmer than it should be this far into evening. The flowers warm it. They have been warming it for hours already, since before you arrived. You stand at the edge for a moment. You do not need to go anywhere. You are already here. You step forward into the flowers. They come to your knees, warm against your legs as you pass through them. The blooms bob very gently in your passing and then settle, and the glow closes around behind you as if you were never here, as if the glade has always been exactly as it is. Under your feet, the ground is soft. Not wet, just soft. Layers of fallen leaves from many seasons, and beneath that the deep moss that covers everything here, that has covered everything here since before anyone was counting. The moss is pale green in the amber light, faintly luminous itself, taking the warmth of the flowers into itself and holding it. You walk slowly. There is no reason to hurry. Nothing is waiting for you except the stone at the center of the glade, and the stone has been waiting for a very long time, and it will wait a little longer, patient as only stone can be. Halfway across, you stop. There is a moth. It has landed on one of the amberbell blooms just ahead of you, perched on the outer rim of a petal, testing the warmth, its wings held flat and wide. It is very pale. Its wings in the amber light are the color of old cream, with a faint suggestion of pattern, something like small moons, something like rings in a still pond. It does not notice you. Or it notices you and does not mind. You watch it for a moment. Then it folds its wings slowly, the way only a moth folds its wings, that deliberate pressing together as if keeping something precious close, and it rests. You move on. The stone is ahead. You have been coming toward it without quite knowing it. The glade is not very large, but it has the quality of seeming to expand around you as you move, as if there is always a little more space, a little more amber light, a little more of the warm, still air. And now the flowers thin at the center, and the stone is here. It is a good stone. Not carved, not shaped by anyone, just worn smooth by rain and time and the hands of travelers who passed through this glade in other centuries and found it, as you have found it and sat. The moss on its top surface is thick and close, a cushion that took years to grow. The stone holds the warmth of the day in its mass, even now, even this late in the evening. You can feel the warmth before you sit down. You sit down. The weight of the day leaves through the soles of your feet, through your back, through your shoulders, which have been carrying something without your quite noticing, and which now release it, whatever it was. It goes down into the moss, into the stone, into the earth below, where the earth can hold it without effort. You let your hands rest in your lap. Ahead of you, the glade stretches in a slow circle to the trees. The amberbell flowers glow across the whole floor of it now, thousands of small warm lights, all of them open, all of them breathing in that very slow way. The air smells of the flowers, of earth, of moss, of old wood. Sweet in a way that is not quite like anything you have smelled before, except that it is familiar, the way certain places are familiar before you have ever been to them. You breathe in. The air comes in cool and warm at the same time, cool from the trees, warm from the flowers, mixing here at the center of the glade in that particular way that makes the whole glade feel like a held breath. As if the forest is very gently breathing you in as you breathe it. You breathe out. And you notice something you might not have noticed before, that the glade is quiet in a way that is different from silence. Silence is the absence of sound. This is something else, a fullness of quiet, a complete, gathered stillness that has weight and warmth to it. The flowers make a sound, if you listen carefully enough. Not a sound, exactly, more of a frequency, the way very low musical notes are felt in the chest before they are heard by the ear. A hum that is also a warmth. The flowers agreeing with each other, or agreeing with the dark, or simply being what they are. Your eyes find details. Here, the way the moss on the top of the stone catches each small bloom's light and multiplies it, making the surface of the stone seem lit from within. Here, a spider's thread, running from a stem to the ground, catching the amber light and holding it, perfectly still, perfectly taut. A single line pulled straight by gravity, going nowhere except down into the dark grass. Here, the bark of the nearest tree, close enough to touch, you could reach out and touch it without leaving the stone. The bark is soft with age, furred with lichen, silver gray in the amber. There is a crack running vertically, very old, sealed with resin long ago. The resin has gone golden with the years, darker gold than amber, translucent at the edges where it thinned into the bark. Something pressed into the resin once, a leaf, it might have been, a long time ago, and left only the ghost of its shape. You do not need to examine these things. You are just seeing them. This is what the glade does. It does not ask anything of you. It does not move in ways that require you to respond. It simply offers itself completely, in every direction. The amber flowers, the old trees, the moss, the one moth still resting on its petal, and lets you look at whatever you look at, for as long as you look at it, until your eyes move on. Your breathing has slowed without your asking it to. You notice this the way you notice the change from walking to sitting, not an event, just a difference, already complete before you name it. Your breath comes in unhurried, goes out. The pause between them is a little longer than usual. Not uncomfortable, the opposite of uncomfortable. A pause that is itself a kind of rest. The amber glow has deepened while you have been sitting. Not dramatically, nothing dramatic happens here. But you can see it if you compare where the light is now to where it was when you first sat down. The flowers are fully open now. Each small bell tilted at its own particular angle, pouring its warmth toward the ground, and the ground reflecting it back up, and the air between, that warm, held air, carrying it in all directions until the whole glade hums with amber softly, like the interior of a lampshade when the lamp is on and the room is otherwise dark. You feel the warmth on your face. It is not intense. It would not wake you if you were asleep. It is a warmth you might fail to notice in a busier moment, the kind that settles over you over a long evening, so gradually you can only tell it arrived by comparing the warmth of the night to the cold of the morning. There is a smell here, beneath the flower sweetness. Earth, old earth, the kind that has been undisturbed for long enough to develop its own texture, its own tone loamy and deep, with something mineral underneath. You are smelling years, decades, more. Each autumn's leaves pressing further down under the next autumn's leaves, going slowly back into the dark soil that made them and the deep world accepting them. And you are sitting on top of all of that on your warm stone, and the earth is below you, and the flowers are around you, and the old trees are between you and the sky, and there is nowhere else you need to be. Nowhere. That word can mean many things, but here it means only one, that you are exactly where you should be, that the reaching is done, that the measuring of the distance between where you are and where you might rather be is stopped, because there is nowhere else. And the glade has made that very simple and very clear. Your hands are resting in your lap. They are heavy. Not painfully heavy in the way that hands are heavy when they are truly at rest, when the long habit of holding and carrying and doing has let itself go for a moment. The weight of them is a relief. The weight is just weight. The moss under them, or the fabric of your clothes, or whatever it is warm from the stone beneath. Everything here, at the center of the glade, is warm. You look up. The canopy is above you, not very far above, as canopies go. The branches of the ring trees have grown inward over centuries, meeting overhead, interlacing. The leaves this time of year are beginning to turn. Even in the amber light you can see the first copper at the leaf edges, the first amber that is not the flowers, but the season, the year beginning its long, unhurried turning to rest. A leaf falls. Not quickly. One leaf, loosing itself from a branch that was ready to release it, making the long, sideways, spiraling drop through the amber air of the glade, falling past the edge of the canopy, past the dark of the midair, into the warm-lit zone of the flowers, where it lands without a sound on the moss beside you. You don't need to look at it. You heard it. That is enough. The flowers keep their warm agreement. The air in the glade moves slightly, not wind, just the slow convection of warm air above warm air, a drift so small it barely reaches the scale of sensation. The nearest amberbell blooms lean a fraction to one side, then a fraction back. They do not stop glowing. Nothing stops. Somewhere in the dark outside the ring of trees, very far away, far enough to be smaller than thought, a fox is calling. Once. Then quiet again. The glade holds its warmth around you, and you are inside the warmth, and the warmth is inside you now as well, something you breathed in along with the air, something you absorbed through the stone. Something the long sitting has moved inside you the way warmth moves through anything given enough time. Your eyes are soft. Not closing, just soft. The amber light has taken the sharpness out of edges. The flowers are a warm field of light and not quite light. The trees at the ring's edge are shapes more than details. The moss is color and texture, not individual parts. The glade has become what it is most essentially, just the warmth and the amber and the quiet that is not silence. You are not trying to stay awake. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are just here, in the warmth, in the amber, in the held air that the old trees have kept still since before there were words for stillness. The stone is warm beneath you. The moss is soft above the stone. Your hands are heavy in your lap. Your shoulders have let go of whatever they were holding. Your face is turned toward the amber field of flowers, or toward nothing in particular, just the warmth, which is everywhere, which asks nothing, which offers everything. The moth you had forgotten the moth is still on its petal, wings closed, resting. It was resting long before you arrived. It will be resting long after. The ember glow is very soft now. The whole glade glows. Not more than before, not brighter, just more completely. The light has filled all the spaces between the flowers, all the spaces between the words, and now it is simply what the night is here, amber and warm and still. You breathe in. Warmth. You breathe out. The flowers don't need you to watch them to keep glowing. They will glow whether you watch or not. Whether you are awake or not. The stone is very warm beneath you. Your hands are heavy. Your face is warm. The old trees stand at the ring's edge. They have been standing through many nights like this one. They are not watching. They are just standing. That is enough. That is all that is needed. The flowers glow. The stone holds you. The air is still. The glade keeps its warmth around the night and around you and the night, and you are both inside the warmth together. The amber is everywhere now. The moth is resting. You are resting. Everything in the glade is resting. The flowers breathe their amber into the dark. The dark holds it gently. You are warm. You are held. You are here.